15 fascinating facts about ancient Carthage, Africa's Phoenician Empire. Ancient Carthage, a civilization that once rivaled the greatest empires of the ancient world, stands as a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and ambition. Who were the Carthaginians? Where did they come from? What happened to them? And what were their achievements? Fact number 1. The city of Carthage offers an incredible origin story. Carthage, a city that would rise to become a dominating power in the ancient Mediterranean, has its origins shrouded in a blend of history and myth. Founded around the 9th century BC, its establishment is credited to Phoenician settlers, who were master seafarers from the city of Tyre, located in modern-day Lebanon. The most enduring legend of Carthage's founding centers around the figure of Queen Elissa, also known as Dido. According to the tale, Elissa was a princess from Tyre who fled her homeland due to political turmoil. Her journey across the Mediterranean is a saga filled with adventure and divine interventions, encapsulating the spirit of Carthaginian resilience and ambition. The story of Dido takes on a dramatic turn when she arrives at the site of what would become Carthage. To secure land for her new city, she famously used her wit to outsmart the local ruler. She requested as much land as could be covered by an ox hide, which she then cunningly cut into thin strips to encircle a substantial area. This legendary episode not only marks the inception of Carthage, but also reflects the astuteness and resourcefulness that would come to characterize this ancient civilization. The tale of Dido, blending myth with historical fragments, has endured through the ages, symbolizing the genesis of Carthage's grandeur. Fact number 2. The unique location of Carthage made it a coveted prize. Nestled in the heart of the Mediterranean, the ancient city of Carthage occupied a strategic and enviable position in present-day Tunisia. It was situated on the eastern side of Lake Tunis, directly across from the center of what is now the Tunisian capital, Tunis. This location was not only picturesque, but also offered significant strategic and commercial advantages. Carthage's placement enabled it to control key maritime routes, making it a central hub for trade and naval power. The city's proximity to the fertile lands of North Africa further augmented its economic might, allowing it to become a powerhouse in agriculture and commerce. Carthage's geographical setting played a pivotal role in its historical trajectory. The city's natural harbors facilitated its emergence as a maritime power, while its position at the crossroads of the Western and Eastern Mediterranean allowed it to influence and interact with various cultural and political entities of the ancient world. This prime location also made Carthage a coveted prize, ultimately drawing it into prolonged conflicts with other powers, most notably Rome. The geography of Carthage, thus, was not just a backdrop, but an active player in its rise to prominence, its wealth, and its eventual confrontation with Rome that would decide its fate in history. Fact number 3. The Carthaginian Navy was unparalleled in ancient times. The Carthaginian Navy was a formidable force in the ancient Mediterranean, a cornerstone of Carthage's military might and an essential instrument of its expansive maritime empire. Renowned for their naval prowess, the Carthaginians were descendants of the Phoenicians, arguably the most skilled seafarers of the ancient world. This heritage endowed them with unparalleled nautical expertise, enabling them to build and navigate fleets that were the envy of their contemporaries. The Carthaginian Navy not only protected its trade routes and coastlines, but also projected power across the Mediterranean, engaging in battles and expeditions that shaped the region's history. Carthage's naval dominance was not just a product of inherited skill, but also of innovation and tactical genius. Their ships were marvels of maritime engineering, designed for both speed and maneuverability. Carthaginian warships like the Quinquereme were advanced for their time and played a crucial role in their naval strategies. Furthermore, the sailors and commanders of the Carthaginian fleet were highly trained and experienced, capable of executing complex maneuvers in the heat of battle. This naval supremacy allowed Carthage to maintain its influence over vast maritime territories, engage in extensive trade, and exert its influence over its rivals, including Rome, which struggled to match Carthage's naval capabilities in the early stages of their conflicts. Fact number 4. Carthage was an economic powerhouse in the ancient world. Carthage's economic stature in the ancient world was colossal. As a hub of commerce and trade, it was the heart of a vast network that spanned across the Mediterranean and beyond. The city's wealth was built on a foundation of rich agriculture, strategic trade routes, and the production of luxury goods. Carthaginian lands were famously fertile, particularly known for the cultivation of grains and olives, which were essential commodities in the ancient world. The surplus produced by their agriculture not only fed their populous city, but also served as a significant export, fueling their trade dominance. The Carthaginians were adept traders, their merchant fleets venturing as far as the British Isles and the coast of West Africa. They traded in a variety of goods, precious metals like gold and silver, tin, crucial for making bronze, ivory, and even exotic animals. Another key product was the famed purple dye, made from the murex snail, which was highly prized in the ancient world for its vibrant color and was a symbol of royalty and wealth. This dye was so associated with Carthage that it was often referred to as the Tyrian or Phoenician purple. The combination of agricultural abundance, strategic trade routes, and monopoly over certain luxury goods placed Carthage at the zenith of economic power in the ancient Mediterranean, rivaling even the likes of Rome and Greece. Fact number 5. Carthage had a ruling family who were instrumental to its success. The Magonid dynasty holds a significant place in Carthaginian history, representing a period of expansion and flourishing cultural and economic development. This ruling family, taking its name from the revered figure Mago, emerged in the 6th and 5th centuries BC, a time when Carthage was consolidating its power in the Mediterranean. The Magonids were instrumental in establishing Carthage's dominance in the region, extending its influence through military campaigns, diplomatic endeavors, and strategic trade agreements. Under their leadership, Carthage not only expanded its territories but also enhanced its infrastructure, military capabilities, and economic systems. The Magonids were more than just rulers. They were visionaries who shaped Carthaginian society and its institutions. They patronized the arts, fostered agricultural innovation, and maintained a strong, versatile military. Their governance saw the development of new harbors, the expansion of trade networks, and the fortification of Carthage's defenses. This period under the Magonids was marked by relative stability and prosperity, setting the foundations for Carthage's golden age. Their legacy is a testament to the blend of military might, economic acumen, and cultural richness that defined Carthaginian civilization. Fact number 6. The city of Carthage boasted incredible architecture and design. Carthage was renowned for its architectural marvels, which reflected the city's wealth, power, and technological prowess. The city's layout and structures were a testament to Carthaginian engineering and urban planning skills. One of the most notable features of ancient Carthage was its impressive harbors, particularly the Cothon, a circular naval harbor ingeniously designed for the docking and maintenance of warships. This harbor was connected to a larger rectangular commercial harbor, showcasing Carthage's dual focus on military and trade. In addition to its harbors, Carthage was famous for its fortifications, which included massive walls and a series of complex defenses that made the city a formidable stronghold. The Byrsa Hill, the highest point in Carthage, was crowned by a powerful citadel, offering a strategic vantage point over the city and the surrounding areas. The city also boasted grand temples, public buildings, and luxurious villas, demonstrating the Carthaginians' architectural sophistication and their ability to integrate different cultural influences into their designs. These architectural feats not only served practical purposes, but also symbolized Carthage's status as a major power in the ancient Mediterranean. Even after its destruction by Rome, the ruins of Carthage continue to inspire awe and provide invaluable insights into its glorious past. Fact number 7. the Carthaginians established one of the earliest known alphabets. The linguistic heritage of Carthage is deeply intertwined with its Phoenician roots. The primary language spoken in Carthage was Punic, a derivative of the Phoenician language. Punic was not just a medium of everyday communication, it was also the language of trade, diplomacy, and cultural expression in the Carthaginian Empire. Its script, closely related to the Phoenician alphabet, was one of the earliest known alphabets and had a profound impact on the development of other writing systems, including the Latin alphabet. The adoption and adaptation of the Phoenician script by the Carthaginians exemplify their role as cultural intermediaries in the ancient Mediterranean. The significance of the Punic language extends beyond its historical context. It served as a tangible link between Carthage and its Phoenician heritage, a reminder of the city's origins and its connection to the wider Semitic language family. The study of Punic inscriptions and texts has provided invaluable insights into Carthaginian society, religion, and governance. Although Punic gradually declined after the fall of Carthage, its influence persisted, leaving an indelible mark on the linguistic landscape of the ancient world. The legacy of the Punic language is a testament to Carthage's cultural and historical significance, echoing through time as a symbol of a civilization that once rivaled the greatest powers of its era. Fact number 8. The Carthaginian army utilized enormous war elephants. Carthage was not only a commercial and maritime power, but also a formidable military force, renowned for its innovations in warfare. One of the most significant contributions of the Carthaginians to military history was the development and use of war elephants. These massive animals, often equipped with protective armor and carrying archers or javelin throwers on their backs, were psychological and physical weapons on the battlefield. The sight of these towering beasts, combined with their destructive power, often caused panic and disorder among enemy ranks. This innovative use of war elephants is most famously associated with General Hannibal Barca during the Second Punic War, where they played a crucial role in his campaigns against Rome. Beyond the war elephants, Carthage's military prowess was also reflected in their infantry, cavalry, and naval tactics. They were known for their flexibility in combat, adapting their strategies to suit different terrains and opponents. This adaptability was a key factor in their many military successes. Moreover, the Carthaginians were pioneers in the use of combined arms tactics, effectively integrating different types of forces, infantry, cavalry, war elephants, and navy, into a cohesive fighting unit. This holistic approach to warfare was revolutionary for its time and had a lasting impact on military strategies in the ancient world. Fact number 9. Carthage birthed one of the greatest generals to ever exist. Hannibal Barca stands as one of the most legendary figures in military history, renowned for his strategic brilliance and daring exploits during the Second Punic War. As a Carthaginian general, Hannibal's name became synonymous with ingenuity and perseverance. His most famous campaign involved crossing the Alps with an army, including war elephants, to surprise the Roman Republic. This audacious maneuver is not only celebrated for its boldness, but also for its demonstration of Hannibal's deep understanding of psychology, logistics, and terrain. Hannibal's leadership in the subsequent battles in Italy showcased his tactical genius. He achieved several remarkable victories, including the Battle of Cannae, where his smaller army encircled and decimated a much larger Roman force. These victories had a profound impact on the course of the Second Punic War, striking fear into the heart of Rome and challenging the Roman Republic's dominance in the Mediterranean. Hannibal's strategies and battles are studied to this day in military academies around the world. His legacy is not just that of a great general, but also as a symbol of resistance against overwhelming odds, embodying the spirit of Carthage at its zenith. Fact number 10. The Punic Wars ended up changing the course of history. The Punic Wars were a series of 3 monumental conflicts between Carthage and Rome, spanning over a century, 264 to 146 BC, and were pivotal in shaping the ancient Mediterranean world. These wars were fundamentally about control and dominance over the Mediterranean region. The First Punic War began as a dispute over Sicily and was largely a naval conflict, where Carthage's maritime prowess was met with the emerging naval strength of Rome. This war set the stage for an enduring rivalry that would define an era. The Second Punic War is the most famous, largely due to the exploits of Hannibal Barca. His extraordinary campaign, including the legendary crossing of the Alps, brought the war to the heart of Italy and kept Rome in a state of panic and turmoil for years. However, Rome's resilience and strategic countermeasures, including the invasion of North Africa, led by Scipio Africanus, eventually turned the tide. The Third Punic War was more of a siege and destruction of Carthage by Rome, marking the end of Carthaginian power and the beginning of Roman hegemony in the Mediterranean. The Punic Wars, thus, were not merely conflicts between two city-states, but a transformative series of events that reshaped the ancient world. Fact number 11. The Carthaginian people adopted a complex system of beliefs. Religion in Carthage was a complex tapestry of beliefs and practices, deeply influenced by its Phoenician heritage. The Carthaginian religion was polytheistic, with a pantheon of gods and goddesses that played a central role in the daily life and governance of the city. Chief among these deities were Baal Hammon and Tanit, often regarded as the lord and lady of the Carthaginian pantheon. These deities were worshipped through various rituals and ceremonies, which were believed to be integral to maintaining the favor of the gods and ensuring the prosperity and safety of Carthage. The religious practices of Carthage also extended to funerary customs, festivals, and temple worship. The city was dotted with temples and religious sites where priests and priestesses performed rites and offered sacrifices. Religion was not only a spiritual affair, but also a means of social and political cohesion, reinforcing the hierarchical structure of Carthaginian society. Despite the eventual destruction of Carthage by Rome, the religious legacy of Carthage left a lasting impression on the cultural and religious landscape of the Mediterranean, influencing later religious practices in the region. Fact number 12. Carthage entrusted mercenaries, which had pros and cons. One of the unique aspects of Carthage's military strategy was its heavy reliance on mercenary forces. Unlike many of their contemporaries, who primarily depended on citizen soldiers, the Carthaginians employed a diverse array of mercenaries from various regions of the Mediterranean and beyond. This practice stemmed partly from Carthage's position as a commercial hub, which made it easier to hire and maintain a multinational army. These mercenaries included Iberians, Celts, Balearic slingers, and Numidian cavalry, among others, each bringing their distinct fighting styles and expertise. The use of mercenaries offered several advantages. It allowed Carthage to maintain a powerful army without the need to extensively train its citizenry, and it provided flexibility in terms of troop deployment and combat tactics. However, this approach also had its challenges, such as issues of loyalty and the complexity of commanding a multilingual, multicultural army. The Mercenary War, a major revolt that occurred after the First Punic War, highlighted some of these challenges. Despite these difficulties, Carthage's reliance on mercenaries was a testament to its pragmatic approach to warfare and its extensive reach and influence across the ancient world. Fact number 13. Carthaginian agricultural practices influenced future civilizations. Carthage was not just a military and maritime power, it was also an agricultural pioneer. The Carthaginians were highly skilled in farming techniques and land management, which contributed significantly to their economic strength and sustainability. They practiced advanced agricultural methods, such as crop rotation, which helped maintain soil fertility and increase crop yields. The use of irrigation systems was another notable aspect of Carthaginian agriculture, enabling them to cultivate crops in semi-arid regions and during periods of insufficient rainfall. Moreover, Carthage was famous for its extensive gardens and orchards, which were not only sources of food, but also symbols of wealth and status. The Carthaginians cultivated a variety of crops, including grains, fruits, vegetables, and olives, the latter being particularly important for both food and trade. They also wrote treatises on agriculture, the most famous being Mago's 28-volume agricultural manual, which was held in such high regard that after the fall of Carthage, the Romans translated it into Latin. Carthage's agricultural innovations had a lasting impact on farming practices in the ancient world, influencing future generations and civilizations. Fact number 14. Carthaginian explorers discovered previously unknown lands. Carthage's legacy as a hub of exploration is highlighted by the daring voyages undertaken by Carthaginian navigators, who were among the early explorers of the ancient world. Their seafaring expeditions extended far beyond the familiar coasts of the Mediterranean, driven by a combination of commercial interests, strategic expansion, and a profound curiosity about the world. One of the most celebrated Carthaginian explorers was Hanno the Navigator. Hanno embarked on a notable journey around the African continent, a venture that was as much about establishing new trade routes as it was about exploration. His journey, meticulously chronicled in a document known as the Periplus of Hanno, stands as one of the earliest documented explorations in human history. The impact of Carthaginian exploration extended beyond the immediate gains of new trade routes and commercial opportunities. These voyages contributed significantly to the contemporary understanding of geography and the natural world. Hanno's expedition, in particular, provided valuable insights into the west coast of Africa, its peoples, wildlife, and geography, offering a glimpse into territories that were previously unknown to the Mediterranean world. This spirit of exploration played a crucial role in Carthage's ability to expand its influence and maintain its status as a major power. Fact number 15. Aspects of Carthage's cultural legacy still exist today. The cultural influence of Carthage extended far beyond its immediate region, leaving a lasting imprint on the ancient world, particularly on the Roman Empire. This influence was multifaceted, encompassing areas such as architecture, religion, language, and military tactics. Carthage's naval technology and tactics, for instance, were highly advanced for their time and had a significant impact on Roman naval warfare. The Romans, initially inferior in naval capabilities, learned and adopted Carthaginian shipbuilding techniques and strategies, which played a crucial role in their eventual dominance at sea. In the realm of language and literature, although the Punic language eventually died out, it influenced the linguistic landscape of the Mediterranean. Additionally, Carthaginian religion and mythology left traces in Roman and later European cultures, with deities like Baal Hammon and Tanit being integrated into the wider Mediterranean pantheon. Carthage's architectural styles, urban planning and engineering feats, such as the construction of massive harbors and the Cothon, a type of artificial harbor, also influenced Roman and subsequent architectural designs. Thus, Carthage's cultural legacy is evident in various aspects of Mediterranean civilization, underscoring its role as a major contributor to the cultural tapestry of the ancient world. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more fascinating history content.